All right, Biko, because of our time, let's move straight to our next conversation. The investigation of the former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, over alleged corruption is now getting more intense. In the latest developments, the former minister has been detained for the second night by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, after honoring his invitation for interrogation. Malami is being questioned over transactions connected with the recovery of parts of the Abacha loot, over 46 bank accounts allegedly linked to him and his multi-billionaire investment in Kebbi State. Ahmed Majid, the former AGF, he has denied any wrongdoing. He's called it baseless, he's called it all sort of names. But he's still in the EFCC detention, since Monday. What's really going on?
Well, he has been granted bail, but as at 11 p.m. last night, he's not been able to meet the conditions for the bail. Okay. Because, they can't actually hold him more than. But then, that's one of the allegations against him, which involves terrorism financing. That one is huge. So it's been investigated at the counter-terrorism wing of the Office of the National Security Advisor, which also works in conjunction with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. So, but when the EFCC invites you, if it has to do with terrorism financing, then they will move you to the counter-terrorism unit of the Office of the NSA. There are two wings. So I think that is where he is. But now to unpack this, really. You see, Malami's travels is a lesson to everybody who holds power today and who believes is very strong. Malami will tell you when he was AGF that Bawa is his boy and he put him there as EFCC chairman. Mohammed Bawa, yes. It says it all the time that Bawa is his boy. God used him to put it there. Things that he's not supposed to say that, which means he's telling you that with power, he can do and undo. And he has used Mohammed Bawa to do a lot of stuff to the extent that they are tracing some assets now that were seized by the EFCC to him during Bawa's tenure. And some of the things he did, recall there was a time the Nigerian Governors Forum had a running battle with Malami over $419 million.
Abacha loot.
No. Paris Club.
Okay.
That the state governments were supposed to share, and Malami now claimed that they hired a consultant who was supposed to collect a certain amount. Was supposed to collect a certain percentage of this amount, and the Governors Forum kicked that no, they had their own consultant, but Malami insisted. And also, some of the allegations against him are, double payments of settlement fees for counsel who helped in bringing Abacha money to Nigeria. And these Abacha monies, I think we need to let Nigerians know that it is those, especially the one from Switzerland and the island of Jersey. It is the government of those two countries that invited Nigeria. Say, this money is here. Come and take.
So there was no middleman.
No middleman, no consultant.
And he was getting money for the middleman.
They even be paid twice. And that's not all. There was this deal on Ajaokuta that the company involved, I think Global Securities Holdings Limited, an Indian company, told Nigeria that over 9 years ago that they are not interested in any compensation, that they are interested in getting Ajaokuta to work, but if they won't be involved, they are not collecting any money. Malami paid them.
Oh dear. Lots of things. How do you weigh in here?
It's quite interesting, and I like the angle that people should forget that power is transient. People should not forget that power is transient, and these allegations are, in my view, they are very, very germane. There are things that every public officer should consider. One of them is, it should explain how he got sudden 10 billion naira. We should also explain $322 million Abacha loot. Come and tell us how this money were distributed and were used. These are jamming questions. I remember on different platforms where, especially on Journalist Hangout, where you will remind the public officers that Abacha loot should not be relooted.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very important.
But he's denying all of these things.
Of course.
He
What
said,
we are saying is we are not passing judgment on him. But what we are saying is these are critical questions. These are issues that we are monitoring closely. This is not a media trial, but I just want to say that this should not be looked with any other eye, because some might say this is a political persecution, this is this, this is that. Excuse me. Just remember, for whatever things he must have tried, he has tried to be a governor. Like I said, it's about taking a lesson from his story. Many of them want to remain in power forever. After being a minister, let me go and become a senator, let me go and become a governor. But even as a senator, you don't have that immunity. But they usually like to be governors. So I'm not just talking about Malami now, but I'm saying that we will follow these cases.
To the very end.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
and see what comes out of it.
BK, lots of things said at this table. But looking at what Majid said, does Malami's arrest represent a genuine shift, you know, towards accountability for powerful former officials? BK, are you still with us?
Of course.
Okay.
It's not the first to be arrested. The EFCC is doing its job by arresting public officers and asking them questions. The fact that he's been arrested, detained overnight, does not mean that he's guilty. She slept in the EFCC cell. What happened? Nothing came out of it. His no case submission succeeded because they didn't have cast iron evidence. And people are not convicted on the basis of allegations made against them or what journalists say on TV. It is what prosecutors are able to do with the facts that they have. They must convince judges that, yes, this person deserves to be put in the slammer. So I found the allegation of multiple accounts. I found it really interesting because I know that many Nigerians, many big Nigerians, billionaires, this is what they do. When they steal money, they get people to open multiple accounts where they put all of the monies. So Malami has to prove that all of those accounts linked to him are not his. In any case, once the EFCC is able to sustain that suspicion, once it is convinced that those accounts are linked to him, they will, and he say, no, they are not linked to me, they will approach the court for forfeiture of the assets or forfeiture of the monies in those accounts. So it's a win-win situation for Nigeria. That is the aspect that really entices me, because at the end of the day, we'll be able to find money to run the consumer credit scheme, to run the NEL fund. Poor students will be able to go to school. They will even get allowances, you know, feeding allowances and all that. They will have their tuition fees paid from monies that Nigerian public officers, Nigerian contractors have stolen. So it's a good thing for us. So if the EFCC has concrete evidence that some accounts are linked to him, they should approach the court for forfeiture to happen in respect of the money that they found in those accounts. And we must get to that point. There's another point that I want to raise. When people are in government and they come out of government and people can see giant universities, big projects in their name, they should be able to ask them questions. Where did you get the money to build this university? Where did you get the money to build this giant company? How much did you earn as salary and as allowances during that period? This has been done in Malaysia. and they were very successful at it. So we should be asking people, if we don't begin to go after investments of people who have been in government, people will not stop looting us in a crazy manner, looting our patrimony in a crazy manner, and building giant universities and building big projects, building hotels. In fact, hotels is what our politicians like the most now.
Yes.
You see big hotels. It's all money laundering that we are talking about here. If we are serious about winning the war against corruption, we should begin to go for the assets of these people. Because monies that are meant for big-time road projects, monies that are meant to fund education, to fund the health sector, we see them being diverted. And people are building hotels with them. Politicians who could barely change their addresses before they got into office, we will now see them acquiring properties here and there. Some have bought nearly all the houses in our urban centers, and we are looking at them. We saw them when they were going into office. Some of them could barely fit. In fact, somebody told me about a man whom, when he was traveling, after his mother died, you know, he was the one who gave him 100,000 to go for his mom's funeral. That person that we are talking about today is a multi-billionaire. He was in government.
How? I mean, how?
When are we going to? When will this stop?
Exactly. All right, but BK.
When will this stop?
BK.
So let them go. Let the EFCC do a thorough job about him.
Yes.
No one is convicting him. As far as I'm concerned, at this stage, he's not guilty. He has not been found guilty, and I will not believe any story until they have thoroughly done their job about him, and they have a vice-like grip on him, and he cannot escape. Because we've seen many of them. As far as we are concerned, at this stage, these are just allegations.
Yes.
We have seen big people. EFCC will make a lot of noise. At the end of the day, those people will escape.
All right, BK.
You will see that the courts will free them. So let the EFCC do its thorough job. If Malami is guilty, he's guilty.
Yes.
And if he's guilty, all of the big things that they told us are linked to him, hotels, universities, and other things, they should then approach the courts for the court to give them the power.
Okay.
To take those things, if we need to auction them the way they did to former IGP, what's his name again? Tafa Balogun. Other people are using the houses that he bought. Other people have taken them over.
Okay.
That's the way it should be, so that in their lifetime they will see that the assets that they use stolen money to gather, Nigerians, other people have taken them over because they sold them. You know. That's the thing that I want to see.
All right.
As simple as that.
All right, beautiful one, BK, beautiful one.